After Takeoff died in a Houston shooting on Tuesday morning, Quavo has issued a heartfelt statement to honor his nephew and Migos collaborator. "I'm proud to be your uncle," Quavo wrote on Instagram. "I'm proud that we saw the world and done the things we couldn't ever imagine together. We laughed way more than we ever argued, and when we did, I always was in the wrong every time. You'll continue to send your blessings down from heaven, and I will continue to keep your name alive as long as I live." Quavo continued, "I love you with all my heart. I will never leave you. I guess God just ain't need my help, so you can ask him for what I gotta do to be with you again. In a place where there's no pain, no demons, no jealousy, no envy, no greed. Whatever we have to do, God be at that place of paradise. Send us the tools now, cause we wanna be with Tate. Love you, nephew." Earlier in the tribute, Quavo wrote of his late nephew, "Nothing ever really bothered Take, and he didn't bother anybody. He's the most unbothered person in the world. He never got mad, he never raised his voice, and when he did, he silenced the room because what Take said was law, and he wasn't changing his mind." Quavo, whose real name is Quavius Coyote Marshall, was at the scene when Takeoff, 28, was shot and killed. The two were playing a game of dice at a party outside of a bowling alley at around 2:30 a.m. Officers told KPRC Houston that a crowd of approximately 40 or 50 people was at the scene when the shooting took place. Takeoff was pronounced dead at the scene. While Quavo was unharmed, 2 other people were shot and taken to the hospital. Takeoff's memorial service took place in Atlanta on Friday and welcomed friends, fans, family members, and music industry peers, including Justin Bieber and Drake, who took to social media last week to pay tribute to Takeoff, writing, "Got the best memories of all of us seeing the world together and bringing light to every city we touched. That's what I'll focus on for now. Rest easy, spaceman." Drake remixed Migos' breakout song, Versace, and featured on the group's 2018 top 10 hit, Walk It Talk It. While Migos never officially broke up, in recent years, Offset had been working solo while Takeoff and Quavo had been working together as a duo, releasing a collaborative album last month titled Only Built for Infinity Links. This is Quavo's full tribute. "Dear Take, it's so hard to tell you I'ma miss you because you're always with me and we did everything together. Since we were kids, you've been by my side looking up at me. The Mai's waiting on me to make the next move. Then, you followed up right behind me. You always made sure I did it first so you can do it right with me. You never competed with me, we were always on the same team. You hated playing against me because I was always playing too hard or too rough. Then, I can hear my mama say, 'Son, not too rough,' because I didn't like to lose. Remember our first dream was to be tag team partners in the WWE. We fell in love with WWF wrestling. Man, we had every action figure. Thought we was gonna be pro wrestlers because the way he imitated all the wrestlers, so good. And if you know Take, his imitation skills are to the T. He can imitate anybody, just ask Danny and Pete. Super quiet though, quietest in the room, but paid attention to everything going on in the room. Always been like that. Nothing ever really bothered Take, and he didn't bother anybody. He's the most unbothered person in the world. He never got mad, he never raised his voice, and when he did, he silenced the room because what Take said was law, and he wasn't changing his mind. Nah, not even Unc could. You just gotta let him cool off for about 30 minutes. But by far the funniest person in the room, once he got him going, he would not stop. And last but not least, he took time with everything. We called it the Takeoff time. Whenever we were running late on the shows, he'd always say, 'God will get us there on time.' Some shows God did, some shows we were late. Point is, he trusted God though. Throughout his whole time, he had a real passion for music. It was his dream to become a rapper because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I tried everything, all the sports. After every game, I would come home and he would just sit there playing the game with the controller in his hand, looking and look at my face, and he could tell we lost another game. So sports wasn't his thing because he saw me lose all the time. This is how I knew he was going to be a rapper. Growing up, he knew every song off the Hot Boys album, every lyric, word for word, and he was cursing up a storm. Mama heard him rapping, took the CD, and said that music was way too grown for us. Until we won the Boys and Girls Club talent show together, performing Get Your Roll On by Big Timers, it was all good then. So it's safe to say we had something going on then. It became easy for us when it came to style and swag. We were always looking like somebody because our mama dressed us like rappers and grown men, as you can see in these pictures. Our clothes were huge, but we had the look. Then he created his triplet flow and the rest was history. He never worried about the titles, credit, or what man got the most shine. That wasn't him. He didn't care about none of that as long as we brought it back home to the family.